The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does now come Rex. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party. The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does now come Rex. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
If you're looking for an online magazine aiming to captivate and empower, look no further than Daisy Magazine. Daisy Magazine is the leading online publication in the US. Subscribe to Daisy Magazine, the digital subscription publication. Subscribe at www.magster.com/p/Daisy. Subscribe to the leading online publication, Daisy Magazine.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful and productive week so far. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to those in the chat. Tonight's topic is The Truth Matters with your host Byron and Anne-Marie. And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone's continued support and endorsement. And welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Before we get into welcoming persons in the chat, I just want to share a quote that someone sent to us. And it is by Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged, from 1957. And it says, when you see that in order to produce, you need to obtain permission from men who produce nothing. When you see that money is flowing to those who deal, not in goods, but in favors. When you see that men get richer by graft and by pull than by work, and your laws don't protect you against them, but protect them against you. When you see corruption being rewarded and honesty being self-sacrificed, you may know that your society is doomed. I thought that was a good quote to share for the times that we're experiencing right now. All right, so let me just go ahead and welcome those in the chat. Velma Hall, welcome. Angelique, Paulette Robbins, The Truck Life, Don Mel, J Masters, songwriter, Noreen McLean, Don Mel, Cynthia B, our channel member, Yvonne Joy, Witches Brew, Sweet Pea, Meline Bowman, Floyd Gordon, Mr. G, Ronnie Swaby, Doris McCoy, Barbara Finley, Pauline, Patel Cruikshank, Vendetta King Lord, Joey B, Uriah Fuzzy, Rosalie Ricketts, Beres White, Jeanette Letts, Dorrit Dobson, Loris Beckford, Doreen Dobson, Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Doreen, and congratulations on your 8,880 plus. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Daniel. Welcome, Megavolt. Then greeting. Sam Agoa, welcome. Colleen Stewart, John Seafright. Thank you so much, guys. And without any delay, I'm just gonna hand over to Baron. Barris White, welcome.
All right. Thank you, honey, as usual, for that wonderful precursor there. I want to say big thanks. I always have to say that as it relates to our subscribers and other persons who are watching us, continuing to fuel the energy, right, for us to go on. It's always a wonderful feeling. And, I have to, pass out my gratitude in saying a big thanks to you all, right? And for all the new subscribers who came on board as well, right? We appreciate everything what you have been doing for us. Without you, there will not be any us. And of course, you are the one who fuel the energy for us to go on. So we are saying a big thanks to you all. Now, my wonderful Jamaica brothers and sisters, I want to begin tonight's program as it relates to the constitutional reform that has been taking place. We know that this government, the Jamaica Labour Party, and I will keep on saying it, it's not a government of inclusion. And so then we have seen that the Constitution has been reforming, right, without the situation in terms of bringing the public into, the level of awareness that ought to be done. Now, what I want to speak on as it relates to the Constitution Reform Committee, as we speak, there is a split. We know that the Constitution Reform Committee made up of, persons representing the Jamaica Labour Party side and persons representing the People's National Party side. So what caused the stalemate at this time? And this goes to show you that when we talk about Mark Golding leadership, Mark Golding as a leader that considered the Jamaican people, right, and want to do extremely good by the people, as opposed to an Andrew Holness-led government who want to deal with exclusion and want to have their way, right, in reforming our constitution. And when I said reforming our constitution, not that they are doing over the constitution, they are making amendment, right? Now, the purpose of what caused the stalemate, let me explain it. Mark Golding wants a full decolonization. If you ask us as Jamaican, right, do we want a constitutional reform as it relates to moving away from the monarchy? We all are going to say yes. We Jamaicans, right, as it relates to Barbados, right, who have done their constitutional reform, moving away from the monarchy, right? Now, we want to move away from the monarchy as it relates to, majority Jamaicans, right? To know that we have a constitution that written by us, right? Drafted by us, right? And those laws within the constitution represent the people of Jamaica and working in the benefit of Jamaica. So what causes the stalemate, my people, is that Andrew Holness government saying that they are doing constitution reform and want to keep the governor general. That It doesn't make sense. You can't want to say, okay, we are going to move away from the monarchy and keeping the Governor General. Why are we keeping the Governor General? Why are we keeping the Governor General that reports to the monarchy? So we want total decolonization, and that is what Mark Golden is defending. We want to have our final appellate court in the Caribbean that represent us as a people, because we have brilliant judges, right? So that's not a problem. And so then when we go full decolonization, it also helps our budget. We don't, number one, we will not have a Governor General to pay. We will not have a Governor General to pay, right? We will not use the Privy Council as our final appellate court, but our final appellate court will be the Caribbean Court of Appeal. It is the benefit of all Jamaicans, right, to have the Constitution that protects its people, right? John Severide said the CRC matter. Andrew is clearly trying to find a desperate way out with his corruption, but not in his method of student actions. Thank you, John, for that. And so then tonight, we are going to show Natalie Mullins. Kanju Hopeless wants to keep the Privy Council because he wants to keep the ribbon cutting, good for nothing Governor General on the payroll. Oh my goodness! I tell you that this is one of the things as it relates to, you understand, people who follow us. You understand, brilliant people. And so then, of course, we like to communicate on a Tuesday and a Friday as it relates to the level of critical thinkers, right, within the chat. So then let us speak. Mark Golden decided not, right, to participate. As a result of what Mark Golden observed going against the Jamaican people, is to show you that the Jamaican Labour Party is so suppressive, oppressive, and still want to linger us, still want to keep us on the colonial spell as it relates to pleasing capitalism. So when one see the struggle that we are fighting, and one see the route that Andrew Holness is taking, megawatt volt, you small said that moving from the Privy Council is a dead issue until after the election, right? Thank you for that megavolt. And so then we the people want total decolonization. We don't want, right, any tentacles of the monarchy holding us, right? We don't want that legacy. We want to eliminate ourselves from the monarchy legacy. That's why Andrew Holness want to hold back the Jamaican people. I don't know. It's to show you that this government, right, is not for the Jamaican people. And so then when we said total decolonization, that is what we are defending. That is what the Jamaican people want. We want to come from under the spell of Andrew Holness. We want to come from under the spell of Andrew Holness. So I am going to go through, since I explained that, you understand, giving my listeners an understanding in terms of the clips that I will be going through. Colleen Stewart, a government in shambles cannot get it right. No time, no way. Thank you for that, Colleen Stewart. And you are so right, because the Jamaica Labour Party is simple as what Colleen said, is in shambles, right? Now, the first clip that I want to play, right, is to show people, right, the odds between the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. And I want to say big thanks to Mark Golding. Mark Golding, you're such a leader. You are a leader for the people. And as you said, sir, time come, and we the people believe that time come to make the change. So without any delay, let me play the first clip for people to understand what is going on with our constitution reform.
Okay.
On a collision course over the final report from the Constitution Reform Committee, CRC.
The development brings into question whether a bipartisan approach to relinquishing the king as the head of state will ever materialize.
Now, as you'll hear in this report from Sandy Williams, it is not the first time the political parties have had a standoff over the work of the committee since its formation.
Mark Golding has instructed the opposition's representatives on the committee not to sign off on the final report. This, he says, is their position until the issue of full decolonization is resolved in a manner that will allow the committee to proceed in a bipartisan manner. Mr. Golding has since written to the Prime Minister outlining his concerns. However, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahoo Fort, in a release today, described the opposition leader's response as regrettable. According to the minister, who also chairs the committee, she has always sought to accommodate the wishes and concerns of the opposition's representatives on the CRC. The two opposition members on the CRC are Anthony Hilton and Senator Donna Scott Motley. Upon conclusion of the report, there were no objections raised. The minister stressed that the report includes only matters on which consensus was reached among members. The Constitutional Reform Committee recently signed off on the list of recommendations that it will make to address severing ties with the monarchy, establish the Republic of Jamaica, and amend deeply entrenched provisions for which a referendum is required. At the time, Minister Marlene Malahoo Fort said the document was being prepared for the signature of the committee members, after which it will be sent to Cabinet
on a collision course.
Okay, all right. Now, so let me say something on that issue, right? Because obviously we realize what Mark Golding need, right? And what Mark Golding did in terms of putting a freeze and signing the final report, and we are in agreement with him. Now, Marlene Malahoo Fort, right, is lying through her teeth. And as what she just reported to say that as relates to right dialogue, right, and information from the People's National Party in terms of what they want, that they are in dialogue and in an agreement, right? That is a little bit disingenuous where Marlene Malahoo Fort is concerned. It is not so where they decided, right, to lose the Governor General. They want to have tentacles, right, to hold on to the Governor General. And that is not full decolonization. That is not full decolonization. We want full decolonization where we don't have a Governor General. Why do we need a Governor General? Why do we need a Governor General if we are going to reform our Constitution? Right? So we want laws that represent us. Right? We don't want any form of supreme powers over us that tie to colonialism. We don't want that. Now, let us get into the second clip to show you what Mark Golding stands for, right? It is night and day, right? So until the Jamaica Labour Party agreed to move the Governor General from the entire process, of the Constitution reform, right? And I'm glad that the lawyers on the PNP side, constitutional lawyers on the PNP side, are dotting the I's, crossing the T, looking over, right, all the reports, right, that make sure that the people are not being shafted. We don't want the Jamaica Labour Party, right, shafting the people. And to show you, let me explain this to the people. As a result of Mark Golden not signing off, they are still pushing the report, right? They are still pushing the report. And so then it's to show you that this government doesn't care and want to breach the Constitution. Breach the Constitution, right? In terms of not having the opposition signed off on it. And well, that is what is in the Constitution for both the members from the JLP side and members from the PNP side, right? In agreement, right? In terms of signing off. And so then you see where the Andrew Holness government, right, want to breach the Constitution, manipulate the Constitution, override the Constitution, just like what he did with the DPP. Just like what he did with the DPP, Andrew Holness, right? And let me tell you something, Andrew Holness. It's full time now. You and Juliet need to just let go the Jamaican people. Free we up. We need to be freed. Now, let us get into the second clip here. Right? What we are defending now, and we stand in solidarity with Mark Golden defending total decolonization.
It is time to free the Jamaican people from the deep sense of frustration and oppression that comes from a system that is not working for the majority of our people. Jamaica must not squander the chance of constitutional reform we are undertaking as a nation at this time. The Constitution is the overarching guide to the way the whole system operates. It is the rules that we have made for ourselves and the processes that govern our lives as a people. The Constitution is not a meal deal, it is a big deal. As a first step, we must reform the Constitution to complete the decolonization process. We need to decolonize Jamaica once and for all. We in the PNP have no interest in moving to a republic while retaining the King's Privy Council in London as Jamaica's final court. That does not make sense to any progressive person. Jamaicans need a final court where they don't need a visa to go there and where the costs of attending court are not way out of their reach. Time come for a Jamaican head of state and the Caribbean Court of Justice as our final court. Decolonization now. We, the People's National Party, will support both moving forward together. We have no interest in one without the other.
So people, I want you to look and analyze, right? Who is fighting for the people's rights? And let me go a little bit further and explain in detail as it relates to what Mark Golden had said, our potential leader. His Father God sent him come. Now, for poor people to get justice, how much poor people can afford, right, to take their case to the appeals, the Privy Council? How many poor people can do that? We have seen, as it relates to Vybz Kartel, just trying to get justice as a result of an injustice that had done to him. right? And the millions of dollars that it caused Vibes Cartel, right, to get some dimmer of justice. Every Jamaican, let us put out the politics. Let us put out the politics and say to yourself that if you are in a predicament and where the Jamaica RM Court, Circuit Court, or Supreme Court, right, don't give you justice, and you want to get justice as a result of the final appellate court, then can you afford that? So Jamaica must understand what is that I'm hearing. Jamaicans must understand that's why it is important for people to know the politics. Know the politics. So then, justice within itself, within that self, right, is out of the hands of the ordinary people. We having the Privy Council for our final appellate court, right? 85% of our people denied justice. Right? Where you have a tampered jury, in many cases, maybe that will be further investigated, right, throughout the system. And so then that is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness still want to hold on to the Privy Council, so then it avoid those people from process, because something serious happened in Vibes Cartel case as it relates to the DPP. Let us speak, people. As it relates to the DPP, right, who fully aware, right, that one of the jurors, right, was corrupted, knowing to the fact that one of the jurors was corrupted, and still proceed with the case. I am asking the question, how many cases that the DPP knew very well, right, as it relates to a tainted juror, and still proceed as it relates to a conviction, forcing a conviction upon the accused, because that is what tantamount. If you, the DPP, knew very well that the juror is tainted, one of the jurors is tainted, there's a precedent already set, right? There's a precedent already set as it relates to what to do in case when you have a tainted juror. So when you have a tainted juror, the precedent that was already set in the Michael Manley's case was to dismiss the entire juror. The DPP didn't do that. And so then this is what now we are fighting for as it relates to Mark Bolin, right? As it relates to the Constitution Reform Committee, right? Mark Bolin concerned about those issues, to say that, okay, if one of our Jamaican citizens, right, exceeded the process as it relates to the RM Court, the Circuit Court, the Supreme Court, right, and want to now deals with the final Court of Appeal, what is going to happen? That is going to be out of that man to get justice, because he simply cannot afford that. He can't afford it. So then what is going to happen to many Jamaicans, that many Jamaicans are going to get injustice. This is an Andrew Holness-led government. People, you tell me if Andrew Holness, tell me, people, like how I put it in the fine detail, tell me, people, if Andrew Holness government means Jamaicans any good. And for all those persons who are defending Andrew Holness, right, you must know what you are defending. And that's why ignorance in this time and space should not be any excuse. We have social media here, right? We have Google search engine where people can go and search, right? And so then in this time and age, right, stop from see the color green or the color orange, but make sure what is good for our nation to move our nation forward in this time. We have seen that the trickle-down economics has never worked when it comes to the elites only getting the opportunity in Jamaica and the masses suffer. So then we have to understand the art of our politics, because politics is our everyday life. For people who say, I don't want to hear about politics and I don't want to understand politics, that person is a puff of wind. Just living, just for living's sake. You have to fight for your generation to come, generation upon generation. And so then this is what we are fighting for. And that is one of the reasons why we are holding the government accountable. All right. Now let us let me read something for you as it relates to the Jamaican Loop, where Mark Golden expressing concerns about the constitution reform, right? Because, of course, the lawyers and the People's National Party side is going through the report, right? And pointing out these issues that the Jamaican Labour Party government want to sideline the Jamaican people within this constitution reform, right? And still keep us under the colonial spell that we are trying to fight to pull away from. If you look under the Constitution as it relates to the Beach Act and see and try to understand the Beach Act as it relates to giving the Jamaican people the rights to access their beach, in the Constitution, it doesn't give the Jamaican people, the ordinary Jamaican people, the right to access the beach. Go under the Beach Act and look and see what we are talking about, people. So all of that, we need to change that. We need to change those laws. Laws that benefit our Jamaican people. Our Jamaican people should need to have access to all of our beaches. What they are doing, what this government is doing to us in Jamaica, it can't work in Barbados, can't work in Cayman, can't work in Nassau. Why? We dealing with this corrupted government, we in the opportunity of change, all of that. And so then we are saying, since the opportunity provides itself that we are doing constitutional reform, let us do it right. Let us do it right. Let us do it with total decolonization. Andrew, you must not try to trick the people. He wanting to keep the Governor General, right? There's no need to keep the Governor General. The Jamaican people budget. It is not your budget. Our budget cannot sustain the 200 and 300% raise that you have taken. And our budget cannot sustain the Governor General salary. We need to cut that to strengthen our budget. So Andrew Holness, come down off of your bumps and pride. You're a Hitler. When I say that you're a Hitler, Andrew Holness, you worse than Hitler. Right? Now, let us read the Jamaican Loop and hear what Mark Golden have to say as it relates to the Jamaican Loop.
Okay.
Yes. When I say my people, that here we have a leader, an exemplary leader in Mark Golden, a leader that is fighting for all of us.
Mark Golding expresses concerns about constitutional reform report.
Leader of the opposition Mark Golding says he has concerns about certain issues in the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC. Golding, in a news release before the holding of a press conference scheduled for today, Tuesday, May 14th, said that in his recent letter to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, he indicated that in addition to the fundamental matter of the final Court of Appeal, several other issues in the proposed CRC report are of significant concern to the opposition. A document setting out these concerns was sent to the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malaho-Forte, via the opposition's representative, Anthony Hilton, last week Friday morning, on the understanding that as co-chairperson of the CRC, she would share the document with the other members of the CRC for their consideration. However, the minister has not circulated this document to the other CRC members. Instead, she submitted the CRC report directly to the cabinet today, bypassing the CRC members' opportunity to review and address these serious and legitimate concerns of the opposition. This action clearly indicates a lack of intent by the government to seek consensus with the opposition on critical issues in the proposed constitutional reform, Golding said in his news release.
Take away that, honey, and let me speak to my Jamaican brothers and sisters. Here you have it. That Mark Golding wants to seek consensus. And Andrew Holness, as always, as it relates to government, doesn't respect Mark Golding, doesn't respect the opposition. One of the things that hurt me, Earl Allen, blessed God, good night, Mystic Sensation family. Please get a copy of an interview with Cliff Hughes and you Small about some laws, bro, the God want to implement. Just list it and make your assumptions. Thank you, Earl. I will be seeking that document. Now, a government that doesn't believe, right, that, you know, the opposition can sit together, right, in terms of consensus, but believe that he runs things, believe that he has the ultimate power. And even although the Constitution is saying that, of course, you have to seek consensus with the opposition, right? He decided not to do it. And so then, in order for him to sit, or the committee to sit, right, and iron out the issue, they are still forcing the report through the cabinet. Without Mark Golding, the opposition signed off on it. Right? So then what Andrew Holness is going to do now? What Andrew Holness decided to do? Use its 48, you understand, to push down stuff down Jamaican throat, that we can do it without them breaching the Constitution. You're a dictator, Andrew. You're a dictator. You're a dictator because guess what? You don't want to lose the Governor General, right? And you don't want to see eye and eye with Mark Golding, right? So then guess what? If Mark Golding can't come your way, right, you are going to override. You are going to bypass. Right? But let me tell you something, Mark. Andrew Holness. You cannot bypass this. You can't bypass this. And guess what? Guess what? Mark is not going to sign up if you don't come to that consensus. Right? Yes, Mark is not going to sign up on that. And the Jamaican people in agreement with that. We want total decolonization. No. It's to show you the evidence that Jamaican people need to be aware of, that Andrew Holness is a dictator. Andrew Holness believes that Jamaica belongs to him and Juliet. I can't see it no other way. He believes that Jamaica belongs to him and Juliet Lana Brooks. Speak it out, sir. Truth matters. He has no interest in the Jamaican people. Absolutely none, Lana. None. Because you want to do a constitutional reform. And you want to trick us by still keeping the Governor General. Right? Are we stupid? Are we stupid? who the Governor General is going to report to? Right? If we keep the Governor General. Who the Governor General is going to report to? He's going to report to the monarchy. Right? So then, how are we going to have total decolonization, which it is the objective why we want to have a constitutional reform to separate ourselves from the monarchy? So then why Andrew Holness is trying to trick us? Right, Rosalie? Why Andrew Holness is trying to trick us? Rosalie, a man who signed us over to UN, some agreement for 20 years cannot be trusted with people of Jamaica. And you are so right, Rosalie. Right? Vicious and wicked. Now, let us get into what we call the height of arrogance with our Prime Minister. Right? Now, have banged around with the University West Indies to the fact that they didn't give him, right, a honorary doctorate. And rightly so. Rightly so. Right? Because what have you done, right, to deserve a honorary doctorate? What have you done? What have you done? What you have created as it relates to under your leadership? We have seen extrajudiciary killing. We have seen SSL. We have seen the high levels of corruption. We have seen that crime getting out of hand and you are suppressing the numbers. Right? We have seen all of these things. So without any delay, let us show Andrew Holness arrogance, right? As it relates to him it's all about himself, not about the Jamaican people. All about himself and not about the Jamaican people. But let me tell you something. Mystic Sensation is telling you this, If you think that you are going to get away scotch-free, I want to remind Jamaican people before we even go on the next document. If you, Andrew Holness, think that you are going to, use other means of deflection, what we want from you, we want to have an understanding about the statutory declaration in the boss. Right? We are waiting on Mark Golding 2023 statutory declaration to come out. We want to know why it is taking so long. So Andrew Holness, let me remind yourself, we don't forget. No. Andrew, we are watching. We are looking. We want to see the report comes out as it relates to the statutory declaration. We know that all of Mark Golding's statutory declaration up until 2022 being declared, being certified that Mark Golding has not told any lies on his statutory declaration. And Mark Golding has no illicit enrichment. Now let us talk to you, Mr. Andrew Holness. Your 2021, 2022, right? And possibly your 2023 statutory declaration. And let me say something to the mainstream media. Me realize, right? I want to know who's responsible for the report to push the report out. So what are you saying? We need transparency in about. Andrew Holness, we need transparency. When you don't worry about honorary doctorate. You don't worry about honorary doctorate. And the statutory declaration has not been verified. You have submitted the statutory declaration, and if it is not being verified, it simply means that you have told lies on your statutory declaration. You have lied on it. And so then, since you lied on it, by law, you're supposed to be fined. You are supposed to be fined and possibly imprisoned. So then tell me, I want to know even what the new DPP is doing. Right? I want to know what the corruption prosecutor is doing as it relates to the statutory declaration of Andrew Holness that he reported he told the Integrity Commission investigators lied. He lied. He lied, people, he lied. And yet, look what is, look, now. I want to put a fire, right, on this plate to give him, you understand, honorary doctorate. I want to know if they are not following, what is going on in Jamaica. It is an indictment. It's an indictment on the giver of this honorary doctorate. Let us get into it, into the Caribbean today. Prime Minister Andrew Holness received honorary doctorate. Let us get into it, people. Just imagine this man has statutory declaration issue, and him gone big up himself about honorary doctorate. Now, let me tell you something. You look to be too bare-faced, you know. You look to be too bare-faced, you know. Yes. Now, let me read this here. Prime Minister Andrew Holness received honorary doctorate from Delaware State University. Let me tell you something, Delaware State University. There's an indictment on you. There's an indictment on you. You understand? So definitely want to push this evil. It is wrong to give this man honorary doctorate. What he has done to deserve it? Let me ask the question. What he has done to deserve it? Let us read that. I don't even want you to even see face. Dover, Delaware, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness was on Friday awarded an honorary doctorate of humane letters by the Delaware State University, a privately governed state assisted historically black land grant research university in Dover, Delaware. Man, look here, there's a judgment pound, man. The Prime Minister was awarded the honorary doctorate following his address to the approximately 200 doctoral and master graduates. It's unfair to them people who study hard. It's unfair to these people, the 200 doctoral and master graduates who work hard for them certification.
I guess the donation was the right number.
Right? Where him not do anything, no studies for this. You understand? Just look at this mess of which some 38 were Jamaican doctoral candidates who participated in an international program put on by the university. The Jamaican Prime Minister is the first head of government to receive the honor and to address the commencement ceremony in 133 years history of the university. I'm not really going no further because trust me, I'm not really going no further. Take it down. I'm not really going no further. You understand? Because I'm not endorse him. You understand me? I'm not really going no further. You understand? We not endorse them because we not endorse that. All right. Now, let us deal with the reality as it relates to, right, you getting, right, honorary doctorate. Yeah, whoever want to say mystic sensation harsh, you understand? Yeah, they want to say. We are saying what we want to say because we are feeling it under Andrew Holness-led government. You understand? We are feeling the pinch, the cruelty and the corruption under this government, Janet Jones. I can't understand everyone running from dictatorial government, but we run into it. Exactly, John, exactly. So let us bring up this clip. Now, let's look at this, people. Right? As I said, I wish not to read it any further. But on the basis, to say on humanitarian ground, or whatever, if that is the situation. Right? Let us look how Andrew Holness treat our Haitians. Now, our Haitians has a natural reality, a situation where the world knows. and people are running away to save their lives. How did you deal with the situation? You understand? Now, since you're gone for honorary doctorate, how did you deal with the situation? Let us look how you deal with the situation, right? And look, what are you trying to defend? The wickedness.
It defended its decision to deport more than 20 mine Haitians who illegally arrived in the country. Information Minister Robert Morgan explained that the action was taken in accordance with international law and protocols. The Haitians, including 5 women, were fined or faced hard labor after being charged with illegal entry. The Passport, Immigration, and Citizenship Agency now making arrangements for their return to Haiti.
We must take into consideration is not to assume that the intended destination of these individuals was Jamaica. There have been circumstances in the past where, due to the trade winds, they are seeking to go to the north, but they end up in the south. So I'm not speculating, don't want to speculate, but because they have not applied for asylum, then a particular process has to take place under Jamaican law. The second thing is we remain committed to the position that we have articulated through the Prime Minister, as he has been pushing himself with relation to Haiti. The Prime Minister is currently in Brussels, where he has had several meetings with our European partners. One of the big issues that he has been pushing is asking for more assistance and stronger assistance for the Haitian people within the global community. The CARICOM group was also in Haiti recently to continue discussions with the various stakeholders as it relates to seeking a permanent solution for the challenges that they face in Haiti.
No, my people.
Recordings just got better.
Let us reason a bit here. Mr. Morgan, right, as a result of the Jamaica Labour Party cruelty, is now blaming the trade wind. Mr. Morgan is now blaming the trade wind that their intended destination may have been that they want to go north, but however, ended up in the south. Oh, is that Christopher Columbus? Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, he wants to put power. No, yeah, a Christopher Columbus journey. Just imagine, to justify the wicked action, knowing to the fact, right, whether trade wind and whether or not the people were intended to go north and ended up south, the fact of the matter, the people ended up on our shore, and the Jamaican government have an understanding, have an awareness, cognizant of the situation relating to the Haitians, and guess what? Send them back in their predicament to die. That is what Andrew Holness had supported in terms of doing that. As we speak, we don't know how many of those persons that Andrew Holness-led government may have sent back, may have been killed in the process. We ever considered that? No, we never considered that. But let me ask a question in terms of a lot of Jamaicans who believe that, okay, we should send them back. Now, if the shoes was on the other feet, where we have a situation in our country and we are running to a neighboring land, would we want to suffer the same fate as what our government had done with the Haitians? No. We are all black people, and our ancestors tied to the motherland of Africa. Tied to the motherland of Africa. And so then what Andrew Holness did, right, is vicious. And so then we can see that he took the very same pathway as it relates to support Israel to eating the Palestine. This is what the type of government that we have. This is the type of government that we have. A government that supports dictatorship, a government that supports capitalism. That means, right, the black nations no good. Because the structure of capitalism, the structure of neocolonialism is to ensure that the blacks are underdeveloped. And this is what Andrew Holness is executing, right? To make sure that the Governor General still connects us with the monarchy, tricking the people that he's doing constitutional reform, while maintaining the status quo of the monarchy by having the Governor General. Andrew Holness, you need to understand the time and the space that you are in as it relates to us and social media who understand to break down these things and educate our people. We are not going to allow you to trick us. We are no lamb to the slaughter. So again, we are telling you, Andrew Holness, take heed. Take heed. Now, let us show how vicious this government is. We have seen extrajudiciary killing, and the government silenced in endorsement to that. Now, look on this clip. When we are talking about the Commissioner of Police has not come out and speak on the matter. The Minister of National Security hasn't come out and speak on the matter. Andrew Holness, who's the Chief Defense of the country, has not come out and speak on the matter. And we have seen the level of cruelty, right? SOE has been executed free will to damage our Jamaican youths. But while they are killing our Jamaican youths, they in the jacket and tie, right, are ripping $1.7 trillion from our treasury. And if Jamaica should add all of what the poor ghetto youths so-called taken, whether robbery or whatever, has never yet and will never equate to what the corrupted politicians have taken. But yet, they are killing our people. Look at this next clip and see the viciousness of this government.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
Let me just take this back off first.
7:49 a.m. Pineapple Lane, Bogwalk, St. Catherine. The last time Romarius Sterling was seen alive. In this CCTV video, the police are seen talking to the man who was seemingly instructed to kneel. He was taken outside his premises and then the sound of a gunshot. It's unclear how many members of the security forces were at the scene, but we observed them milling around. By this time, Romarius Sterling laid lifeless on the ground. The police report on the incident last Thursday stated that the shooting happened at 8:20 p.m.
That's not what happened. They came here in the morning. They had him here. They can see the video. The time span on the video says 7:49. Already had him here with him hand on him head. 7:49 a.m. or p.m. a.m.
It also stated that the deceased man was shot during a confrontation.
No gunshot no come through the zinc. So if him in here, so I shoot after them. Them supposed to start out a door and shoot after him in here. Right?
The report further said the cops seized a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 8 rounds. Romario's relatives are incensed.
You pretend the man with him hand on him head. So many uno. So many man pretend one man, you know, and he have him hand on his head. I imagine you stoop him down on his knee. For the evidence is there where we see your hand on him shoulder, push him down on him knee. Oh my God. And you look at me and tell me, say, I no baby that you kill. No baby that you take a candy from.
Of concern is the police report on the incident. The family is also questioning why their relative was killed in such a manner.
I imagine, you know, you go at the house, and you knock on the door, and you open the door, right? And surrender to you.
A relative who lives where the incident occurred says the lawmen also entered the house using a flashlight because inside is poorly lit.
On the other video inside, you can literally hear when they come and knock the door. I have that video on the phone. They knock the door, and when you open, you just see the flashlight flashing.
There are no bullet holes or other signs, he says, of a raging gun battle. As for the deceased man's father, he's distraught. He says his son has been living in the area for more than 3 years and insists he has not had any run-ins with the law.
Teacher will tell us I in cheer my son sit down at school. No bad reputation for no school. So my son a fight nor nothing. My son go to school till him graduate.
When contacted, the police insist the incident happened in the night and maintain that they were acting in self-defense. Tme Come is investigating. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
In Jamaica, when I look and see even tears coming from my wife's eyes, and rightly so, tears coming from her eyes, because she's a mother. She's a mother. Yes, she's a mother, Jamaica. She's a mother. We have a prime minister, right, speaking self-grandizement, right, going to Delaware to get, right, honorary doctorate, and having extrajudiciary killing like this. Extrajudiciary killing like this. A young man was taken in the custody of the police. The policemen asked him to kneel. To kneel and deliver the final bullet. Sent him home. The Prime Minister, aware of this, Minister of National Security, aware of this, the Commissioner of Police, aware of this, PSOJ, aware of this. What are they saying? What are they saying? What are they saying? Not a word. Not a word. Not a word. But we don't expect to hear from them. We don't expect to hear anything from them. And you know why? We are numb under the Jamaica Labour Party wickedness, because we remember what they had done in the 1970s when they sent more than 100 elderly people in the Eventide homes, burned them to death For people who don't know that history, Jamaica Labour Party has that record to bear. Has that record to bear. And any Jamaican Labour Party historian want to come out and challenge me. It is Edward Philip George Siaga that ended that court because he didn't want the case to try, because he knew very well that the Jamaica Labour Party is guilty. So when we have the minions who unlearn, and when we have some entertainers who believe that they now can defend Jamaica Labour Party with their political rhetoric, their red meat, their lies, their deceit, we are here for them. And so then we bear history and testimony of facts that we have spoken about and deliver the facts to show. That's who we are. We don't run propaganda. When we speak, we deliver the source. And so we have lights like how we in Lonesome. Father Lonesome, deliver a message. Show you evidence. We have lights like an aromatic. Deliver a message. Show you reference, evidence. And so, of course, you have lights like a Andre Stevenson, right? A Hot Topic, and you name them, right? A Carlos, a Jeffrey Tavares, right? Here we have a Rattigan, always standing up as a lion. But we will never stop because we are here to deliver the true testimony that we need to bear. And I will tell the Jamaica Labour Party this, that lies cannot stand where truth lies. It has to sink. Now let us show more. Now, so we see that. And we see how the justice played out when it comes to the poor and needy. Velma Hall, restriction of free speech, assembly at the press are weakening. The oppositions are signs of dictatorship. So right, Velma. But here, we are educating our people to tread on with us, to hold the government accountable, to hold the government accountable. Whitbrew asks, why hasn't the police officers been arrested and charged? I am asking the same question, Whitbrew. We are living in serious times. We are living in where we have a government that comes through the root of evil. That comes through the root of evil. And we know very well that we are not naive. That he is going to try to fight with his uttermost best to hold on. But let me tell you something. We are God messengers here for a purpose, and we are serving the purpose. Yes, we are the Joshua. We are the Moses. Yes, we are the Malcolm X. We are the Martin Luther King that come forward in this time to call upon a government that is corrupted, and we want good governance. Ubuntu, this, what the UWI students said to Oldness, his policies are destroying people. Indeed, indeed. Now, we see what happened to the poor and needy. But the trickster on his platform said, every ghetto youth is a star. And this is how this government treated a star. Went into his home, took him out of his home. He's in the custody of the police, who asked him to kneel and put a bullet, sent him home. And there is nothing coming from the Prime Minister, nothing coming from the Commissioner of Police, nothing coming from the Minister of National Security, nothing coming from PSOJ. But here again, now you have a culprit that comes out of the bosom of the government, and they are preserving him and protecting him. Let us play the next clip. Let us play the next clip and show people the reality that is here. Let us show the reality, my people. Let us speak on reality that is here. So then why we can't get any justice as it relates to what we have just witnessed, but here that we have something coming out of the bosom of the government. So it's current. Jackson presses JSTF on unsolved murder at ex-attorney's home. DCP says evidence can't be manufactured as MP expresses concern. Can you imagine, my people? Opposition lawmaker Fitz Jackson on Tuesday criticized the police high command over the unsolved 2016 murder of a man. This is from 2016, people. 2016, my God, whose body was discovered in the now disbarred attorney at law, Patrick Bailey. Is a reason why he has been disbarred, because he is a criminal. The reason why he has been disbarred because Patrick Bailey is a criminal. Sent on to home. The senior lawmen, including Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson, were before Parliament's Internal and External Affairs Committee, where Jackson warned that a message was being sent of there being two Jamaicas. Two Jamaicas. One for the rich, one for the poor. One of the Jamaica that you can go into, right, the house of a poor person. You can take out his son. You can take out his son. You can take him around a zinc corner and you can ask him to kneel and you can put a bullet in him. But here you have different law uptown, a different law as it relates to the elites, where a number 3 can committed in the house of this man, where there's no sign of tampering from 2016. And you telling Jamaican people that there's no two laws? With a DPP fighting to hold on in the extension of the corruption. The case resurfaced after both Anderson and Fitz Bailey. The Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP, in charge of the crime portfolio, noted that the police had managed to achieve an unprecedented clear-up rate over 700. Listen, man, just take with the document there for me, man. Because take with the document there, man. Ah, Jesus, please. No, when I see these things, when I see these things, don't distract from the question. Don't distract from the question. The question is asking about Patrick Bailey. Right? Don't tell us about how much murder being cleared up. Right? Answer specifically. Right? The question relating to Patrick Bailey as to why this case cannot go forward. That is what you need to answer to, Fitz Bailey. Do you think that people are damn daft and dunce? Answer to the specific questions being asked. I don't try to use diversion. Anyone ask you about any rate of murder that you have cleared up? Anyone ask you any question like that? Hey, are you think that the Jamaican people are that naive? Stupid? Who you think you're talking to? But that's what you do. That's what you do, Fitzgerald. You're a fixer. You're a political activist. You, Fitzgerald, you are a political activist. And I say to you that if God was like man, one of these days, when you up on your pulpit and claim that you're in your church preaching, a lightning ball should just flash and just bust your head into. That's what need to happen to a hypocrite like you. But Father God is a merciful God. Merciful God. You, Fitzgerald, right, is the episode of evil. And what you are protecting. Now, let us address our Prime Minister. Yes. And see if he is worthy of so-called honorary doctorate to Andrewness. This is what you need to concern about. Let us get into the deck of things. Integrity Commission raises allegations of fraud. Now, but before we play that, let us play this. We are going to show how hypocritical this Andrew Holness is. And so then we can't believe a word from his mouth because he's a diabolical liar. Let's play overlay. Yeah.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Okay. I just played that as a precursor in terms of making, right, political activists, right, the labor rights understand that, of course, the Prime Minister said we need to hold the Prime Minister accountable when we see that service is lacking. In this case, this is exactly what we are doing. So I'm just sending, right, to show that the Prime Minister, right, agreed for us to criticize the government. Now, and since that is so, right, let us look and get into the final clip tonight. And what I want to show people, because, you know, on a Tuesday we do short, maybe an hour and a half, right? Last week, we get into Andrew Holness, who he is one of the six. And if Andrew Holness is one of the six, him and Juliet filed together, that means Juliet, right, is a part of the six. It is simple mathematics. You understand? And we are not hiding behind any wall and say it. We are saying it clear. If Andrew is one of the six, automatically Juliet is one of the six. Both of them file together. So what affect one is going to affect the other. Right? So we know 2 out of the 6. But I want to go a little bit further tonight. Because last week we showed, right, as it relates to the influence in terms of Gavin and the association, right, that the Prime Minister have with Gavin. Now, what I didn't show is the Prime Minister Association with Gavin, where both the Prime Minister, Gavin, and Juliet Holness in couple of companies being directors together. Being directors together. And so then when you see that, then you understand, you fully understand what we were speaking about, right, last week, coming out of that amount of contracts that were awarded to Gavin. Now, Garden with Stacey, every day bucket to go, well, all right, one day the butter must drop out. Bless you for that powerful words. Every day the bucket to go, well, one day, one of these days, the butter will drop out. So let us get into the corruption prosecutor to prove honest conflict of interest case, where, right, I think that is going to be, no. We just want to do something. Corruption prosecutor to prove honest conflict of interest case. Just want to show the people in terms of what we had done last week in extension to the corruption. And let me explain to the people. Friday, again, because we have found another big thing from the KSMAC as it relates to $46 million. No, not KSMAC, St. Anne's, as it relates to $46 million being robbed, right? So we are going to get into that Friday, where we are going to expose that as well, right? And we want to know what is happening to the case. And this is Andrew Holness led government. You know, you see the amount of corruption, and that's why we are exposing them and show you how the government, you understand, us silently dismissing them, but yet taking out poor people out of their house, you understand, and we're the police, you understand, dealing with extrajudiciary killing, right, with poor people, while them can steal millions of dollars and get away scotch-free. All know you're a Reid case cannot be processed, fully processed, because the government is saying that, look, you need to let him go because, you know, we are the elites and whatever we do, we are not supposed to be held accountable for it, right? We have the right to go into the treasury and take taxpayers' money, right? Because that's our right, right? And nothing need to come of it. That is what this government is saying. So let us get into the corruption prosecutor to prove honest conflict of interest. Let us dig in, my people. Remember, as I said, let me see the people. Okay. All right. Let us dig in. Oh, yeah, you have to get it big. Okay. Well, put it up. Sorry. All right. Let us get and dig in, people, just to tie up what we had discussed last week. And you know that Gavin was discussed with the Prime Minister. So let us reveal as it relates to the extension of the association, because when we are investigating, we draw out all the stumps. Corruption prosecutor to probe honest conflict of interest allegation, right? Jamaica, the report said that Gavin is personally known to Holness and had been employed both in the St. Andrew West Central constituency and its personal business. Hear it here, people. Hear it on the top. Let me read it over again. The report said that Gavin is personally known to Holness and had been employed both in his St. Andrew West Central constituency and his personal business. The Integrity Commission has referred a report implicating the Prime Minister Andrew Holness in an alleged conflict of interest to the Director of Corruption Prosecutor after it concluded that he may have influenced the awarding of millions of dollars in government contracts to the company of a business associate. The recommendation was made in a 107-page report which contains details of and this is the report that we had shown last week. Details of an investigation into the award of government contract to Westcon Construction Limited between 2006-2009. That is what we covered last week. The report said the company directors Robert Gavin and Donovan Simpson are known to own this for more than 20 years. Contracts were awarded through the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information when Holness served as Portfolio Minister, the Social Development Commission, SDC, and the National Work Agency. The report said 10 contracts were awarded to Westcon Construction through the MOEYI, totaling $21.8 million. 5 were reported to the Office of the Contractor General by way of the MOEYI quarterly contract award reports for the period. The report said that Gavin is personally known to Holness and had been employed both in the St. Andrew West Central constituency and his personal business. Gavin was also a director. People, this is it now. Let us get into it and try to show you the strong association. Here, Gavin was also a director in the Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, where Holness remains a director. That is number one. Gavin, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. So people, I want you to understand something here. And this is one of the reasons why I bring up this document, right? To show the association between Gavin, Nigel Clark, and Warren Varan, and Donovan Williams. They were all directors in Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited before they enter into politics where Nigel Clark is concerned. So people, that level of association as it relates to why we understand that Nigel Clark will suppress any information to protect Andrew Holness. Nigel Clark, was a director in Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited. Here is the evidence. Let me read that over again. I want people to get it. Gavin was also a director in the Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, where Holness remains a director. Gavin, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, and Warren Vernon were noted as seized directors as of November 1, 2016. You see where far Nigel Clark is coming from with Andrew Holness prior to get into the politics. Okay. Both Holness and Gavin were also listed as directors of the company's Sunshine Mobile Company. People make me back on up now. And remember when Andrew Holness went on Clip News program and talk about he brought $47 million in the politics. We will prove that nothing don't go like that, because Juliet Holness opposed that, saying that they were broke during their wedding in 1997. Remember, people, where we are coming from, right? The company Sunshine Mobile. Now, Holness is saying now, both Holness and Gavin were also listed as directors of the company Sunshine Mobile Company, for which the core business activity was the provision of transportation consultancy. Right? So people, note it. You understand? So there is no way that Andrew Holness company Sunshine Mobile could have amassed $47 million, because what is the nature of the company? Here's the evidence, people. Provision of transportation consultancy, which went bankrupt. Let me repeat that. People which went bankrupt. So again goes back to the question that what Andrew Holness said as it relates to Sunshine Mobile, where we got that money from, we know that it is a damn lie. Lie from the pit of hell. Gavin was also listed as seized director as at November 1, 2016 in the company West Central St. Andrew Trust, for which Holness was listed as a director. So look at the MO as it relates to Andrew Holness Gavin. Now, come down now at this paragraph here. Watch here now, people. Both Garvin and Juliet Holness, the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Rural, and the Prime Minister's wife were listed as directors of the company Omega Bridge Finance, for which the core business activity recorded was investment. So the Prime Minister ceased being a director in that company in September 2007 and is listed as a shareholder together with Garvin. With Garvin, the report said Western Construction Limited was recommended in a letter which was dated December 20, 2007 and authorized by Holness for the award of contract in the amount of $1,450,000 for work in St. Andrew West Central relating to the 2007 Christmas work program. Take it away. The NWA awarded 34 contracts to the company, totaling $33.7 million. Take it away. Let me talk to my people. Because in things let me tell you something, people. If Andrew Holness believes that he's going to get away from Mystic Sensation, he make a sad mistake. Because coming Thursday, Titans is going to beat him again. Coming Thursday again, the Titans are run out again. Yes. So I just want to show people that when we speak, we don't run up on social media and speak and don't have evidence. We have our evidence. We have our body when we speak. When we speak, we show solid evidence. Right? We don't run joke around here. Right? We dig. We do research. Velma Hall, election manipulation, elevating the leader of iconic status, and lack of transparency are all signs of dictatorship. Careful, Jamaica. Velma, you're right. I'm glad you're warning them. Right? And so then when we see these things, right? Now, people, let me say that, coming to the end of the show, because that Tuesday, we don't stay that long, right? Now, freedom, which brew, Mark can't do it alone. All nations are people that rise up against injustices. The people have to unite, and you are so right, freedom. Unity is strength, and that is why we are here educating our people to make an informed decision that we need to vote. We need to participate in the coming general election to vote out this government. And people, let me take off my glasses because I'm very serious with this, what I'm going to say. Right? You hear, I always, in terms of my perception, in terms of a third party, but what, as it relates to Jamaica Labour Party history of venomous poison to us black people, right? We want a third party to replace Jamaica Labour Party. We don't want to hear that name, right? We don't want to hear it. We want a third party to replace them. The third party, if you don't hear me, we don't gear up to replace them. Now, let me say that's big and loud. The amount of damage. We want a People's National Party as incumbent government, Mark Golding as our solid leader, and we want a third party. We don't want Jamaica Labour Party in our political history. We want to wipe them out of our political history. As a matter of fact, we want to make sure that when we're ready to process, we are going to investigate, we are going to put people as it relates to in the judiciary, and if the judiciary find them guilty, they need to go where they belong. So let me say this, right, as it relates to you know, talking to my people, thanking my people always to support Mystic Sensation. We are so much proud and appreciate you come by, because you know what? Right? Every time you come and you spend some time with Mystic Sensation, you didn't have to do it. Right? And you spend your time. And so then we know that what we need to provide to you, right, is informed decision. And so then we find the time to research, because you are the fuel. You are who that energize us to go on. And then I love my brothers and sisters participating, strengthening us. I want to thank all of our subscribers who subscribe to us, giving the strength to push on, to move on as we fight. People, remember that we are here, right, fighting for you, and you are here providing us strength. We love you so much. Without you, there is absolutely no us. And we respect you, we adore you, and we hug you well, right? Thank you to pass through a Mystic Sensation. We love you all. Freedom. The minds of too many Jamaicans are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. How the hell you sit in a church and have fixed bail preached to you? What kind of message is your soul receiving? So true. And as I said, my Jamaican people, right, tune in on, of course, the Titans Thursday and Mystic Sensation on Friday. Once again, love you all and have a wonderful good night. And thank you for passing through.
Good night, guys. Love you all. Safe travel on the gravel until Friday. Blessed up, and you'll see Baron tomorrow on Titans, as he said.
Yes.
Good night.
Tomorrow is Wednesday? Thursday. Thursday on the Titan.
Thursday on the Titan. Sorry, guys.
Thursday. All right. So Titan, yes. Titan is strong and going stronger and stronger. So yes, see me on the Titan on Thursday. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Good night.